Okay, what's up guys? In this video I'm gonna be talking about how to qualify for the Solo Cash Cup this season. Okay, so to start, Epic removed the Solo Victory Cup and then put in the Solo Cash Cup, and I think that's actually a good thing. It will make a good change for the community, and like it's gonna make it harder to qualify, which puts like the good players in a better position, you know? Now I'm gonna be talking about some crucial tips and tricks that you need to know to be able to qualify for the Solo Cash Cup this season. So first, I'm gonna be talking about like the news and important changes that happened in this chapter, and then we're gonna be talking about like the format and. Okay, so first, gonna be held 8 weeks of this tournament, and they're gonna be held every Friday and Sunday. Opens on Friday and finals on Sunday. Okay, so first we're gonna be talking about the time of the tournaments. Opens will approximately last 3 hours or more, depending on the day, and so will finals. Finals is also gonna be 3 hours, which is a big change since it last season and a lot of season before that, it was only 1 hour. Okay, now that was a big change. But now we're gonna be talking about the games and like how many games you have, since it's 3 hours and not 2 like the last couple seasons. We now have 10 games instead of 7, and that's a big change. Now you gotta like manage your time way more, because before it was like you could start 15 minutes late, that would be fine, but now you can start even later and have way better chance of qualifying, since the later you start, the better, no, the lower elo you'll be in, and that's where you gotta manage it. Like, are you an aggressive fighter, or do you just want to sit in the bush and play there the rest of the game? And now we wrap that up. We're gonna be talking about which top you have to get to qualify for the Solo Cash Cup finals. Now, instead of top 15,000 like the last couple seasons, that now we have a big change. It is now top 600 to qualify, which makes it a lot harder, and we're gonna be talking much about that later in this video. About how to qual, which loot you should have in your inventory, like mostly what you should do. Okay, so now we're gonna be talking about the format of the Solo Cash Cup. The format is gonna be pretty like the last seasons. You get 65 points for a win, and but there's a big twist now. You get 2 points for a kill. That makes a really big difference. But that also does that like the pros will go for a lot more kills than maybe they usually do, or just go for the same amount, but it's still a lot of kills. So I would be careful. If you're not a player that fights a lot, I would be careful where I go on the map, since a lot of players just go around and try to kill people, so I would try to be careful. And now that we've talked about that, now we're gonna talk about the prize pool. The prize pool in EU is gonna be $32,000, and that's a lot. That's really a big difference from when we had Solo Victory Cup. You'd get $100 per win. You could highest get $300, which was like nearly impossible, but yes. And in NA, it's gonna be $16,000. That's like the half. I don't really understand why, since there's a lot of players on NA too, but I guess Fortnite has decided that. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about the strat to qualify for the Solo Cash Cup finals. First, we're going to be talking about the loot and movement for this. First, we're going to be talking about movement, since that is really important this season. I would always recommend taking the new Void Oni mask. That is so good. I know that has been nerfed a little too, since the katana was nerfed, or really much like the Typhoon Blade, you could call that too. That got nerfed a lot, so I'd always recommend taking a Void mask, but if you can't find that, the Typhoon Blade is good too. It doesn't matter, but I would always recommend the Void mask, since it is way easier to make zone pulls, you know? And then for the loot, I would always recommend the Hollow Twister. There's 2 areas. the Fury AR, and the Hollow Twister. Always take the Hollow Twister since it hits more precisely, and it just hits for really much. The Fury AR is good too, but like everybody takes the Hollow Twister, and it just generally is better. And for the shotguns, there are 3 types of shotguns: the auto shotgun, the Oni shotgun, and the Sentinel pump shotgun. I would always take the pump because, you know, it's a pump and it hits. It's just like generally better this season, just since the Oni shotgun is really, really bad. I would never recommend taking that. The auto shotgun is actually precisely like it's good. It's good this season. It's not good, but like not good, not bad either, you know. And then for the SMG, I wouldn't really recommend taking an SMG in a solo cash cup, but there's, yes, we can still say it, the Wild SMG, that is a lot better than the Searchfire, not by much, but it's still the best one. So I would take that one since it has a really good scope and something. And then for the heals, I would take either a Shieldfish and then medkits or flobbers. If you have 3 Shieldfish, that is so good. Or either the Bob, as someone calls it, or the the healing sprite, and then with medkits or minis. And then that was all about the loot. And a part of the strat to getting a good solo cash cup, first cash cup, I would recommend warming up 2 hours before the solo cash cup, so you're fully warmed up. 45 minutes or less, that is fine too, but I would always recommend 2 hours because like it's just the right time to get prepped and you can have your hydration. Like water is really good for the tournament, but 2 hours, that is like plenty of time. Not too much, not too little, but depends how much time you have for it. And then the first game, I would recommend going for some kills, but if you're not a good fighter, you could just play the game out. But since it's gonna be the lowest elo you're gonna be in the whole tournament, so I'd recommend going for kills in that game. Plus, starting 15 to 30 minutes late, that would be good too if you're not a good fighter, and it's good also if you are a good fighter. It gets you in a lower elo for this tournament, and then after it's gonna be higher. But like that's why you gotta get a good first game, and the second game, that is fine too. The first game doesn't have to define it. You're still gonna be in a low elo if you die the first game of Spawn. That doesn't matter. And then we're gonna be talking about like you're gonna have 5 to 10 kills in your first game or second game, doesn't matter. That would like be a good start, or at the minimum get a 5th place. Yeah, that would be good. Get a 5th place, get 5th place at minimum, but like with some kills also. Yes. Okay, so now we're gonna be talking about the 5-minute rule. If you don't know that, that's where you land off spawn, get some kills, get looted up, fully bricked up, or what you say, and then you get ready to sit in a house on a bush. Doesn't matter. And then for the mid game, I would recommend actually just sitting in that bush. But if you're a good fighter, you can go for some kills, but I wouldn't recommend that if you're not. And then for the end game, okay, let's say you don't pull zone, where do you go? You wanna go that side. Do you go left? Do you go right? Where do I go? You can see that like the point that I made like in that picture, that just describes it all. And if you're not, then you don't get it. And then in the end game, let's say in your stagger, you want to go for higher layer because like there's gonna be, and if you go on low layers, you're just gonna get griefed with the Typhoon Blade, and that will just fuck you up straight. So go for a high layer, and that will be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please follow or like. Have a good one.